Blackhawks Central Hockey Podcast. I am Joe Vitale, and that is Skoks. Today we'll be going over the Boston Bruins game. Pretty lackluster effort and a bad outcome. And then today was Frozen Frenzy Day. All 32 teams are in action tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just going to give our general thoughts about how that went. And we'll go from there.
Yep.
Blackhawks fans, welcome to the newest edition of the Chicago Blackhawks Central Hockey Podcast. Today, the Chicago Blackhawks take on the Boston Bruins original six matchup in Chicago, Illinois at the United Center. And they get blanked 3-0. Just looking at some post-game comments, Luke Dickerson is saying that the team's getting outworked and didn't really like the effort that the Hawks put forth tonight. Taylor Hall out. He's not a miracle healer. Injured his shoulder in the Boston game against his former team, thanks to Mark Clifton, I believe.
Or was it Brandon Carlo?
Brandon Carlo.
Yeah.
I always get those guys mixed up.
Yeah.
Connor Clifton is on Buffalo now, I think.
Yeah, he is.
So anyway, Taylor Hall re-injures his shoulder and is now week to week, as originally thought. And the Blackhawks' second best player on the team is now not available. So
not great.
Not great. Really not great. Hawks bring back, though. They get Philadelphia Kurashev back, which is okay.
Yeah.
He's not Taylor Hall. And Tyler Johnson got first line minutes, but didn't really utilize them well enough. Had kind of a rough game where the puck wasn't finding his stick, kind of jumbling around. I can just go over the stats with you really quick. General basis. Hawks outshot 43-23, outshot by 20. Really don't like to see that.
No.
Face-off percentage was a little bit better, 50.8% for the Boston Bruins compared to the 49.2% that the Blackhawks put forth. Both were over on their power plays. Boston had 4 opportunities. Chicago had 3. Would have liked to pot at least 1 goal on the PP.
Yeah.
Hits were even 15-13. Boston had a slight edge. Blocks were dead even, 13 apiece. I heard a statistic that I think it was Ray Ferraro who said through these 6 games that the Hawks have, they've blocked 70 shots, which is good for second in the league, I want to say.
Yeah.
I think it's only the Columbus Blue Jackets who have more. So, Hawks sacrificing the body, I like to see that type of effort that they're putting forth. But I think the one of the main blemishes of this game, besides getting outshot by 20, which is just flat out unacceptable.
Yeah.
Connor Bedard got his goal taken away from him on an offside call by Andreas Athanasiou. And, I appreciate the league wanting to get calls right. And then there's going to be growing pains as you add new features to the game. But there was 40 seconds that passed and a change of possession that passed.
Yep.
From when AAA got into the zone offside. It was such a slim margin regardless.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's questionable. Like, just looking at that offsides call, and then you go back to the time difference, right?
Yes.
And change of puck possession. Like, there's too much against it.
Yeah, and when when you overturn
Yeah,
calls, you have to be absolutely positively certain.
right.
Now, I'm sure the league and Toronto have a couple more, angles that the broadcast doesn't necessarily have,
Hmm.
but I think through the broadcast's, lens, I'm not entirely sure you could say without a shadow of a doubt that
Hmm.
that was in fact offside.
Right.
And then 40 seconds pass, and Charlie Coyle just dishes out this deep dish pepperoni pizza straight to Bedard, and he buries it. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
what
mean,
are we
rips
doing
it,
here?
man.
What are we doing here? I
Yeah.
didn't even know Bedard got the puck.
It was that quick.
That's how quick
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
It was all of a sudden it was in the back of the net. Wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Charlie Coyle turned it over and Bedard buried it. That's what happened. And they
And
took it away.
yeah. And the biggest shame of all was the Patty Kane Selly getting taken away. Like, man, was he happy to bury that one. That was a heck of a goal, and I'm pissed.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pissed.
not a lot of not a lot of home court advantage here, home ice
No,
advantage. You know,
unreal,
national
unreal.
television, original six matchup, Chicago, Bedard.
Hmm.
Just let him have it.
Right.
So a couple of other, little notes here
Hmm.
just on the personnel changes because Taylor Hall was out.
Hmm.
You had Nick Foligno on that top line
Yeah.
and Tyler Johnson as well. Or did I make that up?
Tyler Johnson. He did start on the top line. Yeah.
I think it was Foligno, Bedard, Tyler Johnson
Hmm.
at first. And
Right.
then it probably would have been something along the lines of AAA Reichel Donato, maybe?
Uh, I believe we did start rotating the top six. So I saw double A on the line for like a shift. Who else was up there? Kurashev was with Bedard and maybe Johnson. It might have been Felino, but they were rotating in that third period. Obviously trying to get something done. Um, and that's when I look at that top six, and maybe you just load up line one, man, with Bedard, Reichel, Felino, Bedard, Reichel, Johnson. Uh, you got to make something happen. And I think that's where Coach Luke has some learning to do, of his own uh, game situations like that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So here are the lines. It was
Hmm.
Foligno, Bedard, Tyler Johnson, Ethescu, Reichel, Radish,
Hmm.
Kurashev, Dickinson, Perry, Kachu, Donato, Reese Johnson.
Right.
So, and then obviously that fourth line is more like a third line.
Hmm.
Breaking up Perry and Foligno, I don't really love, to be honest. I think
Yeah.
they work really well together.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, I think you're just going to need a little bit. I like the tenacity of that first line of Foligno maybe going to go get the puck or
Hmm.
Tyler Johnson going to get the puck, dive in that corner, and then
Hmm.
get it to Bedard. But I just don't know if there's
Yeah.
enough skill.
Right. Just didn't see. Well, the passing was horrendous. Mainly just from like Tyler Johnson. Felino was off a little. Kershaw, I thought played pretty decent for his first game back here, right? And how long was that? Like month and a half, month. With his wrist, right? But I thought he had a decent game, and they probably didn't want to rush him, on like line one starting out tonight. But in the third period, he was paired up with Bedard and I think Johnson. it was on the right side, and that was one of their best shifts, like of the night, with Kurashev on that top line. I thought they moved the puck better, faster at least. They had pretty good possession of it with Kurashev, so maybe Coach Luke's gonna try that out for Friday next game. We'll see.
We'll definitely see. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then it's going to be obviously it's going to be a pretty a pretty tough bag skate, I think, for the boys.
Ooh. Yeah.
Um,
Vegas.
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great, great. And the next one is Vegas.
Yeah. The
That sucks.
undefeated Golden Knights.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
What are they doing right now? Let's
Yeah.
see.
That is interesting. Yeah.
They're losing at the moment.
Really.
Yeah. 34 seconds left in period two, down 2-1. I mean, that could change
Mhm. Yeah. Who
anytime you want.
who are they playing tonight?
The Flyers of Philadelphia.
Wow. That's embarrassing. That's a little embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me
Torch.
wrong.
Torch.
Tortorella, squeezes blood from the stone, but yeah, that's it's a little tough.
Yeah.
I think there'll be still plenty of time, whole period left.
Yeah, right. Mhm.
But yeah, so as we said before,
Mhm.
Frozen Frenzy, all 32 teams
Yeah.
playing tonight, 16 games on the docket, started at 5 p.m. and then little 15-minute intervals for all the other games, which I love. And thank God the NHL finally did it
Mhm.
because
Right.
I mean, I just want to say last Saturday, probably,
Mhm.
there were probably 60-70% of the games started at 6 p.m. And
Mhm.
that's it. That's all she wrote. And, I get it. This is a butts in seats league
Right.
and gate revenues are very important. But I mean, give the boys at home,
Yeah.
give the boys and girls at home something.
Mhm.
Guys, come on,
Right.
let's figure this out. It's 2023.
Mhm.
No blackouts. Stagger the times.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Mhm. Yeah. Could have been a little sharper, right? Like we said earlier, lot of commercials, and they're gonna promote that kind of stuff, especially like tonight. All teams, 16 games, uh, busy day, busy day for the NHL.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
I saw one of the hockey personalities. I don't know if you've run into him, Heat Daddy, Danny Allstar. He was saying, "Hey, I'm watching this Frozen Frenzy,
Hmm.
and it's just been ESPN self-promoting themselves. So, like, when are they going to get back to the hockey?"
Hmm.
So it seems like this kind of, you know, this type of feeling has been kind of circulating. I thought it was, we were talking off air, you
Hmm.
know, I thought it was a lot of, hey, we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And the same three commercials. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, welcome back to the studio. Hey, Kevin Weeks is going to walk from our studio here to the other studio that's covering the game, the Blackhawks game.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, like I don't need to see you walking through a hallway, bro. Like, cool. It's a nice studio. You know,
Hmm.
I want to watch the hockey game because all 32 teams are playing. There are 16 games on. Like, great. You look dapper in a suit, bro. Like week C.
Hmm.
Show me some hockey. Sorry.
Yeah.
um, and then sometimes they would cut to all their screens. They'd have
Yep.
15 screens, 18 screens, whatever, and you could see, oh, there's a power play, oh, there's a goal, oh, there's a big hit, oh, there's a fight.
Hmm.
You could see stuff going on, and they'd be like, all right, well, we'll see you in 2 minutes, and you're like, wait, this isn't how red zone works.
Yeah.
like, and
Yep.
they even had the red zone guy come in and be like, "Hey, Bucci, hey, Weeksy, you guys are doing great. Here are a couple tips, how I do the red zone and stuff." And you're like, "Okay, cool, awesome, man. They got this on lock. They got."
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. I don't know his name, but he's a legend.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
they're like, they've got the guy, the red zone guy.
Mm-hmm.
Bounce some stuff off him. Make this the best that it can be. So,
Mm-hmm.
Introductory. This is the redshirt freshman walking on. So,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a couple bumps and whatnot, but I would have just liked to have it fine tuned a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'd
Yeah.
also like to see it on like a Saturday. I know
Right. Right. Right.
I know college football is the king of Saturdays, and Saturdays are for the boys and whatever.
Yeah.
But I would have liked to. I'd like to see this
Mhm.
on a
Or
Saturday.
yeah, or even like a Friday.
Friday works too.
Yeah.
People can play hooky and get off of
Right.
work early and
Right.
whatnot.
Right.
First
Mm-hmm.
game was 5 p.m. So a lot of people, 85% of people are getting out at 5 p.m. I'd say probably. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
maybe even a little bit before that. So it could work also on a Friday. Exactly. So,
Yeah.
I work nights, so it doesn't work for me. But actually,
Yeah.
I'm off Fridays, so we're all good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah,
And even like that last game, for the docket for tonight, I think is the Vegas and Flyers game. So
puck drop at 11 p.m., a
y-
little late.
yeah, yeah. So that's a little late there too. But yeah, it's a all evening thing. It's all lined up there. Yeah, definitely. So
Yeah,
hope they
there's
tighten
still
that up. Yeah.
one whole period left, and it's midnight right now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's cool. I'm
Hmm.
a night owl, so it doesn't really bother me. But like,
Hmm.
I get that there are people that have things to do in the morning.
Yeah. Right.
But um, and then European fans even can catch the end of this game. They're gonna
Right.
wake up and be like, "Wait, there's a hockey game going on. I can watch the NHL.
Hmm.
That's awesome, dude." So,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
good
Hmm.
introductory session, I'd say, but definitely gonna need some fine tuning.
Oh yeah. Definitely got to sharpen it up for the next time. I I don't think they've announced when that will be, but I'm interested. I'm intrigued. You know.
Yeah, and I would like to do this more than just once. I'd
Yeah.
say they do it
Yeah.
maybe like quarterly. Like
Right.
4 times a season or something.
Right.
uh, get everyone together. Maybe four is a little much, but I mean, it is an 82 game season. So,
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of time there. Yeah. Um, Before we wrap up, what was I going to point out here? Oh yeah, the decor. So Korch was still paired up with Jones there on the first pair.
nice.
I thought, or I think, uh, Korch is improving, right?
Yeah.
Game by game here, and I mean he's playing some solid hockey, man. Just like we talked last game. Uh, Shoot, who did we play last game? Um,
Uh,
let me peek back here.
Vegas.
We played Vegas, yes. Tight game. Korch, just solid, man. All around. Yeah, there's some hiccups, a few bounces, right? But hey, man, that's hockey. But he has been the third best D man. Uh, However you want to shake that out, Vlasic, Jones, and Korch. Those are the guys, man. Vlasic looked like prime Chris Pronger behind the net tonight. Uh, I mean, doing all he can, really, you know, to battle on the boards there and get the puck out. But he's playing his heart out, man. Vlasic, being trapped in the D zone for majority of the game, he's keeping up here. Definitely positive from them. But I'm I'm sniffing a little Rockford time, I think, for Wyatt Kaiser, man. Hasn't been playing great, right? Tough matchups here, but it seems like I don't know what it is because he has the skating and the speed, right? Uh, for the game, but it just seems like he's not, well,
Yeah,
like acclimated to the, I don't know, to like the tendencies yet, you know?
yeah. Just to jump in on this really quick, and
Yeah.
this is kind of like a piling on Wyatt Kaiser, unfortunately, but that
Yeah.
I saw a statistic
Mm-hmm.
that Tenorti Kaiser
Yeah.
uh, pair tonight
Mm-hmm.
got outchanced 10-1 against the
Right.
Boston Bruins.
Right. Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I saw a quote from Tenorti, which, because I'm looking here at the box score as well, and
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that every single defenseman is -1.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it happens, whatever. I'm trying to see maybe hits and shots. Jared Tenorti, 3 hits, 3 shots. That's the most.
Wow.
12:55 of ice time. The least amount of ice time by 5 minutes. Who is his partner, Wyatt Kaiser, was the
Yeah.
next closest. And Wyatt Kaiser has 0 hits, 0 shots,
Yeah.
-1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so but then what I was going to say was Tenorti,
Mm-hmm.
I saw a quote by him and he said, you know, yeah, I'm just trying to get used to because he was on the right. They put him on the right and he
Yeah.
normally plays the left, and they put Wyatt Kaiser, who's normally on the left, on his strong side. And he was like, yeah, I was just taking my gaps like really cautiously and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess
Mm-hmm.
you kind of weren't, buddy, because you still got caved in. So it's like when he's saying something like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh well, it's going to take a little time to get used to, and I'm just
Right.
trying to play it a little bit more cautiously," and it doesn't factor in that way. You still get outchanced 10-1. If you're doing it a little more cautiously, you want that gap minimized
Yeah.
or zero. So.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really, I don't like that. That third pairing is definitely going to need some work.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we see here pretty soon. Maybe he does get some Rockford time, and maybe they elevate who's down there right now, like a Phillips or Roos. I'd like to see Phillips because I think he did play the offside, um, or his offhand last year. Um,
Yeah.
at moments, right?
And I just like him in general. I think he's
Yeah,
probably, besides like, I'm honestly, I don't really know. I think probably him, he's probably the most NHL ready out of
yeah,
all the defensemen down there right now.
down there definitely. Yeah, yeah, not crazy about Roos. I don't remember if he's a lefty or a righty.
I want to
He,
say he's a lefty because he
I
plays
think
the
he
left
is.
sides.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, not crazy about his game. He does pop a little, but I would like to see Phillips up here. Maybe we will soon because Kaiser's definitely struggling here. Definitely.
Yeah, and obviously NHL,
Hmm.
not a developmental league at all. And I
Hmm.
could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
I'm like 90% that Wyatt Kaiser is waivers eligible or ineligible. Like he
Right.
does not require waivers.
Right.
So if you can send him down and he can get those top minutes,
Hmm.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah. Definitely, man. Bedard got robbed. Yep. We went over that terrible call. Really, that offsides call. Just rough.
I just think it changed the entire momentum of the game. Really,
Yeah.
truly. You're at home,
Hmm.
Bedard scores, it's a rocket, And I think from then on, it just completely changed the game. I think the the refs in general were a little rough.
Yeah.
And I think the Hawks saw them not getting that first call, the Bedard offside or the Athanasiou offside call
Mm-hmm.
that resulted in getting that goal back. I think it kind of shook up the Hawks a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe I think maybe that played uh, you know a hand in them not trying to get that puck, as Luke Richardson was saying. So domino effect, man. I really think I think it really set the tone for the rest of the game in a bad way.
Yeah. You could see the energy just, I mean, it died out pretty quick there. You know, the kid scores an electric goal. I mean, I jumped out of my seat here. Stinks, man. I'm pissed.
Yeah,
But he will definitely get one back very soon here. Connor is committed, man. He is committed to scoring. Yeah.
yeah, for
hmm
sure. I'm just gonna check to see
hmm
when the time of that Bedard goal was,
Yeah. Uh,
because
let's
here we
see here.
go.
hmm
Okay. This is, I'm not sure.
hmm
Um, I'm just getting
hmm
like Ben Pope is saying, like, oh, 3 hours ago, Bedard's goal overturned, and
Yeah.
then Charlie Romeliotis, like, here it is, it got
hmm
taken away, but I'm not really seeing any time markers or anything.
hmm
But I was just gonna say, because I'd like to know the distance between that disallowed goal and then Pavel Zacha's uh, goal 350 into the second period.
Yeah.
Because if it was close, um, you know, I think that just confirms the momentum shift.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't put my finger on the timestamp, but um, it did feel like earlier. Just not sure on the time. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, it was
Can't
like
find it either
end of the
here.
first or something.
Yeah. Definitely. NHL.com is,
Because they would have,
mhm,
in recording it and logging it,
right.
they would have logged a shot and goal for Bedard, but then all of that would have been taken off, as far as I know. You know
Right.
what I'm saying, from the
Yeah.
score sheet.
hmm
So
hmm
whatever. Yeah, it's a bummer, man.
Yeah.
And
Definitely rough, man.
yeah, yeah, I think just here in conclusion, unless you wanna got anything on your mind, need to say.
Uh, that's pretty much it for this game. We'll see what these weird lines will be. Uh, that definitely be weird. The top line. Oh,
Oh,
uh,
BLJ coming in the
yeah,
clutch. Dude, okay. All right, so it
six
wasn't
forty
it
four.
wasn't
Yeah,
close at all.
yeah,
Uh,
man. Um,
but to get the air and the energy sucked out that early too.
yeah, hmm
Man, just
yeah,
kind of a bummer.
and
So,
you could see it. You know,
yeah.
yeah. For the play, yeah, but we we could go over the lines at another time. Before Friday, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll preview that Golden Knights final powerhouse game, man. Final powerhouse team.
Yeah, this is a meat grinder the Hawks are going through.
Yeah.
Start the game 5 games on the road
hmm
against, Penguins, who are supposed to be good, and then
Right.
the Avs and stuff. They just get embarrassed by the Avalanche. So that
Yeah.
was a really rough game. But,
hmm
I think in conclusion, wrapping up here,
hmm
Chicago Blackhawks Central Hockey Podcast, pretty lackluster effort in general from the Blackhawks.
hmm
Bogus call, getting the Bedard goal taken away at
Yep.
6:44 of the first period, thanks to BLJ. Thanks
hmm
for that assist, buddy.
hmm
And then it was all Bruins from then on.
Yeah.
Outshot 20 by 20 shots, and
Hmm.
scoring within 350 of that second period. It's just you've got to cut down on those early goals because it seems
Yeah.
to be kind of a pattern, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Frozen Frenzy, really great idea, awesome idea on paper. Execution, a little bit needs to just be a little bit refined.
Yeah.
Uh, Hawks are going to wrap up the gauntlet Friday
Yeah.
against the
Finally.
Vegas, finally
Finally. Oh,
against the Golden Knights again. So we go VGK, Boston VGK again. Not a fan, but this
yeah.
is what schedule makers have put in front of us.
Right.
So we'll talk to you on Friday. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This has been the Chicago Blackhawks Central Hockey Podcast. I'm Joe Vitelli. That's Skoks. Go Hawks.
Let's go, Hawks.